to prevent that as well are extremely affordable. We as individuals, forget about companies, we as individuals can go out and buy this software. It is that affordable. So why are these companies falling victim to this type of attack? It's very interesting. So a few other types of new attack methods came online as well in 2012. So as we can see, cross-site scripting was a new one. So I'm not going to get too technical here, but another interesting trend is this gray bubble where it's unknown. What that means is that the company will admit that they've been breached, but they will not disclose the details. They're not sharing anything with anybody, but they're just saying, yes, it was a big one, something happened, but that's it. And that's a very disappointing trend. So when we lost the battery on this remote. So as I said, we do this report every 3 months. So when we looked at the first half of 2013, we saw a number of new trends that were happening, and again, a new attack method. So a new attack method was watering hole. So the earlier presenter mentioned the growth and proliferation of cloud as well as social media. So hackers are leveraging this. What they're doing is they're using social engineering to find out what you're posting on your social media feeds, and then they're leveraging that in order to target you. So, for example, all of us are here at this conference today. So what is published on this conference website is something that we all might, for example, a copy of this presentation. If this website is targeted by a hacker and, let's say, successfully compromised, they can plant malware there. So now, let's say you want to download this, and then a little pop-up comes on your browser, and it says, you need to download this latest patch or whatever, Java, applet, whatever the case may be, and then you do download it. Surprise, they've planted malware there, and then it's now living on your PC. So they are now recording your keystrokes, observing your behavior, and trying to take advantage of anything they can to break further into, let's say, your friends, your co-workers, your boss's system, things like that. So this is the watering hole attack method here. So we would all visit a website, which is like, think of the internet as the savannah. So there are these watering holes which are not very common throughout the internet. So we need to congregate both predators and prey at these watering holes in order to drink, in order to participate in the experience. And this is what they're targeting here. And as I mentioned, they're using social media as a leverage point. Something else that we're seeing as a growing trend is all of these bubbles with a very dark, bold circle around them. These are regional offices, meaning that, let's say, for example, there's a bank headquartered in Canada, but they have a regional office somewhere down the street from here. This is the office they're targeting. So they recognize, these hackers, that head office gets a big IT budget and a big security budget, but this regional office does not. So that's the weak point. They always attack the weakest point. So they're going to go for this weak point. They're going to break in there, and they're going to find ways to leverage into head office to gain other information. So lots of big global brands have become a victim to that. Some of the largest fast food companies in the world have also fallen victim to that. And another few things is that we can see it's a very diverse attack methods here. But let me give you a full picture of 2013. So that's what the full year looked like. As we can see, it exceeded 2012, and a few other things surprised us. So all these gray bubbles now are becoming more common. It's a very, very bad trend because, as I mentioned earlier at the beginning, hackers are working together, but it looks like enterprises are not. They are not sharing best practices. They are not sharing, okay, well, this is what happened to me and I don't want it to happen to you. It's becoming a very kind of self-interested game that companies are unfortunately playing. So, you know, yes, security is an ugly problem to solve, but unfortunately companies are not working together, but hackers are. Hackers are going so far as to share resources. So in many cases there's what's called a command and control server. So basically it's a zombie server that they've taken advantage of. It might be installed in somebody's let's say network. So they've compromised this backend server, which is very, very powerful and has a lot of internet. So they control that server and they're sharing access to that server. It's called hacker as a service. I kid you not. You could pay an hourly fee to access to use a powerful server in a company, a zombie server in a company, to launch an attack against your competitor or whoever else you want to launch an attack on. So this is a real business. Search it, and you will find options for you if you want to go into that. Something else that's interesting. Let me dig in to the next slide a little bit. Is that we see that they've in 2012 and 2011 there was a lot of focus on the financial markets, but it's shifted focus here. So financial markets was, I believe, number 1 in 2012, whereas now it's number 3. So what does that mean? That means that the banks and the other financial services companies are spending a lot of money. They're investing in security, and it is becoming more and more difficult for the hackers to break in. So now they're shifting focus because, again, they're playing a return on investment game. They're not going to just sit there and try and try and try. They're going to go for what's easy, what's a low-hanging fruit, and that's what they're going to focus on. So that is a global trend, but at the same time, that would scare me. If I'm not one of those big banks that's no longer losing money, if I'm not one of those companies, then that means that because they're shifting focus, are they shifting focus towards me? These are questions that I would ask myself. So, because that is certainly what we're seeing in the trend here.
It's a mobile payment system for Manuel.